Not sure how to put a category on YouTube. All right, I'm eating some tacos. I want to eat. Make sure this downloads. I want to watch the campfire. See what's going on. Whoa. Whoa, buddy.
On it a bit.
Yeah, I want to eat.
Coming with the 230 PTR realm. My name is Marcus Kretz, and I'm a community manager here at Blizzard Entertainment. And today I'm joined by some new and familiar faces to the stream, which we're really excited to get into. Liam, welcome to the stream. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do on Diablo?
Hello, I am Liam. I'm an associate game designer here on Diablo. I'm always caffeinated, and I'm excited to be here.
Hey, I'm Aislinn. I'm a systems designer on the final design team, and I'm also happy to be here and probably not as caffeinated as Liam, but sometimes I wish I was.
Hey everyone, I'm Charles Dunn. I'm a game designer, work on class design on the final design team, and I had some coffee this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
And coming in all the way from downtown Albany, New York, Mr. Dan Tangway, how much caffeine have you had today?
Hey everybody, I'm Dan Tangway. I have had 0 caffeine today. I'm not allowed to have that stuff anymore. So. But yeah, I am the design director for live services, and yeah, I'm excited to share what we've got cooking.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Great to have you here, Dan. And yeah, we're really excited to dive into everything coming with the 230 PTR realm. It's going to be live from May 27th till June 3rd. We're going to be getting into everything coming with that today. However, it's been about a month since Season 8 launched, Belal's return. We've all gotten in and gotten some fantastic boss powers. So, I know we wanted to take a moment to sort of address and see where things are currently sitting in the game. So, like, Aislinn, how do you feel things have been since the start of Season 8?
Yeah, we just love to talk a little bit about how has Season 8 gone? Like, what kind of changes did we make from the Season 8 PTR? How did they go in live in Season 8? So the first thing I want to talk about with that on this topic is level pacing and activity variety. So as you guys may be aware, we slowed down leveling just a little bit in Season 8, and I'm really glad we actually ended up bringing that loading.
That's kind of coherently to some of the
as it can possibly be. With that, I wanted to pass it off to you to talk about class design.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to talk a little bit about where we see the class balance and relative balance of the different builds and classes in the current season, in Season 8 here. I think broadly speaking, class balance, at least in terms of like the spread and diversity of the meta, is in pretty good spot. Certainly compared to some of the previous seasons of Diablo 4, where we had 1 or 2 outlier builds that were just so far above what anything else or any other class could do. We don't really see that this season. We do have, some Lightning Spear Sork is maybe a little bit higher than we would like, and there are some other builds at the top, and maybe Spiritborn in particular is lagging a bit behind, but broadly speaking, we're really happy with the overall diversity of builds that players are using to experience all of the content in the game. One of our main pillars for class balance is the concept of that all builds are able to complete all content, which is really that you can take any kind of build that you can think of that's kind of coherently put together, right? You find a skill that you like, you start building into it, and you can take that build and get into Torment 4. You can complete the season journey, you can fight those Torment 4 bosses, and have reasonable success doing it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the absolute fastest speed farmer in the pit with every single build, but you're able to complete all the content. That's really the bar we're trying to shoot for with a lot of our class balance, and we want to make sure that there's a wide diversity of classes and builds that can achieve that.
The button up.
And I think for this season in particular, we've gotten in a pretty good spot. There are a few outliers that we're still going to look to kind of close the gap on. And also, I just wanted to say that this is an ongoing process, and one of the things that the PTR is so valuable for us testing is getting feedback on the new content that we're putting in, the new builds we're trying to enable, and make sure they are hitting that mark.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like, that's the nature of live service games, right? Like, it's always iterative. We're always trying to balance things and get them to a spot where they function really well and builds feel really good, and it feels like you're not shoehorned into one. So yeah, the state of the game right now in terms of Season 8, having all those builds be available to get you through your entire season's journey is really, really nice. So that's really great to hear.
Yeah, and of course, we'll be sharing some updates for the class balance later on in the presentation, specifically around the overpower stat, which has definitely been kind of dominating the meta this season and has been for a little bit. So we're definitely aware of that. And
how sad is it that these guys have had 8 seasons and this is where we're at? Still nothing is in the game.
Look to make adjustments with the interest of promoting non-overpower builds to also compete with them. And of course, also we also recognize that here in Season 8, a lot of the absolute top builds, those ones at the very top of the meta, are kind of the same ones that they were in Season 7, in the previous season. And we know there's some fatigue around that, where, hey, Death Trap Rogue, it's the best Rogue build again. Hey, Earthquake Barbarian, and so on. Bloodwave Necro. There's some examples of hey, it's the same class the second season. And we definitely realize that maybe we didn't quite shake up the meta as much as we really were aiming for on Season 8, but we hope some of the big changes I'll talk about later really achieve that for Season 9 going forward.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a little bite-sized sneak peek of some of the things we'll be talking about later on the stream. But again, that's the beauty of having the PTR, right? Is it's, I think Dan said it before, like this is our time to adjust all the knobs in the dial so that, you can test the content, give us your feedback, and then we can, make some changes before that all goes live to make sure it feels great in game. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, with that in mind, with the 2.3.0 PTR, for those of you that are keen and know the roadmap inside and out, you'll know that this next season's is going to deal with all things dungeons. So we have a lot of new and exciting systems and activities that are coming in Season 9 that you'll see in the 2.3.0 PTR. So Dan, what are some of the things that players can expect to get into and try out with this PTR?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to run through some of the features that you're going to see in the Season 9 PTR. First off, I'm going to talk a little bit high level, build on some of the things that they were saying before. I think, when we've been looking at our seasons after X1, we've really been thinking about, what are those areas that we need to really kind of plus up, what's become stale. And one of those areas that, really felt as if it needed some love was the dungeons, specifically our Nightmare dungeons. And so we slotted that in Season 9. And that's really been the dominant theme of a lot of the features that we're going to release. Obviously, if you're familiar with the roadmap, you'll understand that this is where we're headed. But it's important that we're still trying to, even within that, promote that activity variety and create a lot of permanent additions to the game. I know that's something coming out of Season 7, especially. A lot of folks had a lot of feedback on. And so we've taken some extra effort to make sure that we can, bring a lot of these changes season on season into the permanent game moving forward. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the features. Now, as with any PTR, I'm just going to say up front, we're not going to include any story. We're not going to include the quest line, rep track, things like that. We're really focusing on things that are more repeatable gameplay that we need a lot of feedback on. First up, Heraldric spells. So you see an image here of the UI for the Heraldric spells. It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Kind
It
of
sounds so
create a power system this season. I'm not going to speak too much about that. I'm actually going to let Liam speak about that after I go through the rest of these features. Next up, we have Nightmare Affix updates, and I'll get to those in a little bit. We have Heraldric Strong Rooms. Heraldric Strong Rooms are a new type of micro dungeon within any dungeon. Next up, we have Escalating Nightmares. Escalating Nightmares is a new type of dungeon progression system. And finally, we have Astaroth. So let's dig into Nightmare Affix updates just a little bit more. I actually think Aislin's going to talk about it a bit after, so I'm just going to hit this at a high level. I mean, the defining feature of Nightmare Dungeons are the Nightmare Affixes, right? And so, we've spent a lot of time over, 8 seasons basically saying, oh, well, people don't like this one. Let's tweak this one. Maybe we can add a few here and there. But, we really haven't put, a strong lens on the Nightmare Dungeon affixes as we have in Season 9, especially when we're looking at trying to promote new types of rewards, or at least variations on the type of rewards that dungeons can have. So you see here, we've got Heraldric Reserve and Equipment Delve, and both of these are new types of rewards that you can find within the dungeons. Equipment Delve specifically is you are seeking around the dungeon to find these gizmos that allow you to upgrade the rewards that you get at the end. Let's move on. All right, so let's talk about Strong Rooms a bit. I said it was a micro dungeon, right? This is a micro dungeon, however, that's going to be hidden within a nightmare dungeon. So, the Haradrim have always been very secretive, and we thought this would be a great opportunity to explore gameplay kind of along those lines. And so you, upon entering the dungeon, have to find the entrance to this, Haradrim strong room. Now, once you're in the
This guy
strong
loves the
room,
Haradrim.
and you basically are going to be earning Haradrim attunement by slaying enemies. And this attunement is going to improve the chest that you get at the end after defeating the mini boss. So really, all said and done, what this strong room is about is maximizing that attunement. If it feels a little bit like the gauntlet, it does have some inspiration from that. We don't have the gauntlet in the game anymore, but we wanted to, bring that element of really trying to maximize your score within a certain period of time and giving you a lot of really interesting ways to do that. And so what you see here in the image is one of those tools. These are tests that you can choose to take at the beginning of the strong room, and that will modify how your strong room plays out. There's a couple of other images here we can go through as well. Here is the Haradrim portal that you'll enter in order to get to the strong room. Here is the gate that leads to the strong room. So you have an ante-room right before the strong room where you have to perform a little test to make sure you understand what's about to happen next. I think there's one more. Yep, here's some combat around one of the Haradrim pillars. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the Haradrim pillar does, but Haradrim pillar is one of those ways to boost your score. So with the Haradrim strong rooms, we're really interested in just getting a good amount of feedback about, is it fun enough? Does it differentiate itself enough from some of the other modes that we've created? And so, yeah, let us know. Next up, we've got Escalating Nightmares. Now, this one, I just got done playtesting this morning, and it's really coming together at this point. We're really happy with it. So this is a progression that allows you to fight through a series of nightmare dungeons. 3 specifically, and each time you enter a new nightmare dungeon, new affixes get added to the list of dungeons, increasing both the difficulty and, of course, the fun part, the reward efficiency. And so it's going to culminate with a boss fight. The one you're going to play in the PTR is going to culminate with that Astaroth boss fight. And in order to get into, an escalating nightmare, you're going to need to get an escalating nightmare sigil. Now, this is currently going to drop in Torment 1 from strong rooms. All right, I think there is an image of a totem coming up. So let's take a look at that real quick. Yep. So at the end of a dungeon, you're going to be looking for this particular totem, and that's going to allow you to open a portal immediately to the next dungeon, which is honestly going to create a nice flow state running from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. So you don't have to back out if you don't want to. You don't have to go into your inventory and hit it again. You just hit the portal and go. So that's pretty cool. With the escalating nightmares, I think the thing that we probably want the most feedback on is actually how you go about acquiring it. Right now, you can only get them in Torment 1, and going into the PTR, we're like, well, that feels pretty good, but we're also like, well, do people want to try and experience this earlier? So this is something we'd love to hear from y'all on. Finally, we've got Astaroth Reignited. So Astaroth, of course, is a very recognizable demon from Diablo 4 base game, and we were really trying to think of somebody we could put a face to for the upcoming season. And somebody said, well, what about Astaroth? And we thought about it, and we're like, well, yeah, that's kind of unfinished business. Really, this is kind of a rematch when you come down to it, because you defeated him the first time, right? You knocked him off the amalgam, and then you saw him in hell, but we really haven't seen him since. He's just sitting there relaxing at this point. So we really wanted to have this rematch, but if it's a rematch, we don't want to give you the same fight, right? So we've updated the combat mechanics, and there's some things that will feel familiar, but there's some new twists in this fight as well. The final thing I want to say about Astaroth right now is he is not immediately going to the boss ladder. We're really trying to find ways to integrate some of our bosses in new fashions within the overall end game. It's pretty important for us to, kind of branch out. We did a great job iterating on and polishing up the boss ladder last season. So we want to try some new things here, and let us know how we did there. But I think there's a tease of Astaroth coming up, so let's check it out. So here we are entering his lair. In this part of the fight, first phase of the fight, it's going to feel a little bit familiar. He's going to be riding the amalgam, but pretty soon it varies up quite a bit. And so we're going to leave it at that, I think. Honestly, yeah, I don't want to spoil it for folks. Just go check it out when the PTR hits. So I think at this point, we are going to chat with Liam next. So I'm going to kick it back to Irvine.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I am so nervous right now. That caffeine is combining with that nervous energy, and it is creating something, I don't know. We're just going to go for the ride.
Ride that wave, Liam. Ride that wave.
Ride that wave. Let's get into this section. So we just talked about a whole lot of really cool permanent content that's going to be coming to Diablo. Everything Dan just mentioned is so cool. I'm so excited for it. Now we're going to start talking about some seasonal content. So we can't wait for you guys to get in and play around with this stuff. Heraldric spells, all new this season. And the team has put so much love, so much energy into designing all of this. We're so excited. I can't wait to tell you about it, which I'm going to do right now in this overview section, starting with these bullet points.
All right,
so
there, cheese
several
ball.
spell components. That doesn't do it justice. We have 30 different components you're going to be able to combine together. That's a lot of choice. And you're going to basically be building your own spell. What does that mean? We're going to get into it.
Oh, God.
And the last bullet point, unique utility. Again, what does that mean?
We're going to get into it.
There's
This is a pretty intricate system,
Yeah, these spells are not just like, oh, what one does the most damage, right?
Yes.
It's a lot about like, what kind of functionality do I want with these skills? And you can really customize it exactly how you want.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. Go ahead,
Yeah. Previous seasons, like in season 8, you get the power from the boss.
Skip.
And that is the one thing that.
Comms.
And then that barrage.
Clear comms.
This is what
Boss
is a.
But like you said.
All right, so with that said, let's just hop into it. Let's start digging into what these are. All right, so right here, what we are looking at is a catalyst. And a catalyst, for those that don't know, which probably most of you don't know, is the foundation of your spell. This is what gives it its form and its function. And as you can see, there is already so much depth here. It has a lucky hit chance. It has its own cooldown. It has a rank 10 bonus. And it does a really cool effect that isn't just damage. Each one of these, they do something unique that you're going to love to play around with. And there are multiple of these.
So how do we trigger the catalysts in the first place? How do we get those going?
That is a good question. There's even a lot of depth when it comes to that system. And I think the next slide is actually going to be the best thing to convey that. All right, so what we are looking at right here is the seasonal interface for Heraldric Spellcraft. And if you look, you will see that there is actually a bar right there on the UI that kind of mimics your action bar interface. And if you notice, when the catalyst got placed into the slot, the action bar skill now has a purple blinking border around it. What does that mean? It means that your catalyst is now bound to that action bar skill.
And that's where the cooldown comes in, right?
Yep. That's where the cooldown comes in. The cooldown is the limiter, so you're not just going to always be able to press that button and make your catalyst fire off.
Right.
It's beholden to its cooldown. But thankfully, ranking up does lower the cooldown, so you're going to get more and more frequent use out of these catalysts as you rank them up and make them more powerful.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in this interface. Let's see what happens when this rogue presses the button with Celestial Surge equipped. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. You see, that does most of the talking for itself. So basically what just happened is that the rogue threw the smoke bomb.
Yeah.
And the smoke bomb was the guiding factor for the catalyst. And the catalyst created that arcanic heraldric rune on the ground right where the smoke bomb landed. It did its pull-in effect, and then that barrage of stars just started doing their work randomly all over that area. What do you guys think? Is that pretty cool?
That's pretty neat. And that's only like one of the possible combinations, right? Because like you have one
summon on your character. And like as your
time
for the cat. That's what's going on in this. And then that barrage of stars just
enemies, or like I know there's a clump of enemies there, so I can deploy.
If you read
Skipping,
on paper,
skipping,
and
yapathon, yapping.
necromancy
determines the catalog.
Don't want to hear
basic-
you.
Is a have different.
No, especially don't want to hear you.
Here feels like you need to literally have almost now. That just scales kind of infinitely, right? You build up some critical strike damage, which increases your other damage, and that just scales.
A comment, we're not the fun police, right?
No.
We're not coming here to ruin your day, but what we are doing is we want to make a more consistent experience for our players, and we want the pieces to fit together naturally. Your progression is smooth. There's all these puzzle pieces. They just make sense as you stack them up, and we want to move away from having such extreme outliers.
Yeah, the extreme balance outliers are really what kind of can kill the fun of the game. If you're like, hey, I want to play, whatever kind of build you want, but then you see somebody else doing something different, and you're like, oh, they are 100 times better than me. It actually does affect how much fun you're having because you feel like you're playing suboptimally. And by kind of bringing some of these more in line to a kind of a budget of power that we want from certain sources, we help to eliminate those outliers that are like miles ahead of everybody else. With that in mind, we think that this is going to promote better build diversity, of course, as you can play more options, and it won't feel as bad that you aren't being left behind in such a way. All right, so let's move on to the individual class changes. Those affect everybody, but of course, every class gets some new stuff to talk about here. And first up, we've got barbarians. So for the barbarian, the big talk of them for a while has been earthquakes in particular. Barbarians love to, stomp on the ground, and they stomp so hard that they make some earthquakes. Those have been extremely powerful for a handful of seasons, and we know that there's other fantasies to explore in barbarian other than just earthquakes, and so we have done some updates to kind of bring down some of the power level of Earthquake, specifically on its legendary Paragon node, the Force of Nature, that gave it a ton of multiplicative damage on the Earthquakes. That has been brought down quite a bit. To the second bullet point here, a lot of the legendary Paragon nodes in Barbarian, Paragon, and across every other class has been kind of simplified. Some of them used to have effects, which was like, do a thing to get a buff, to give you some damage, and it stacks up to 5 times, right?
Yeah.
It would be like kind of a multi-step thing for a Paragon node, which we thought that's maybe a little bit more complex. It's asking you a little bit too much. So we've simplified them, and often it's just like, hey, do a thing, get a bonus, and that's it.
Right.
And specifically on Barbarian, I think they got some of the bigger updates in that regard. And in a lot of cases, the Paragon become even more powerful because you don't need to stack it up 5 times or whatever it might be. You just get the bonus right out of the gate. So they are slightly more powerful.
Could you say barbarians are getting a seismic shakeup? I'm so sorry.
A little bit. On some of these, they feel that way, yes.
Yeah.
Additionally, we've got a new unique item this season. We know that players love playing with Bash Cleave from a while back, and now what if every other one of their basic skills could cleave? Well, have I got the unique for you? And it's my favorite named unique in this season, which is saying something.
It's true.
It is the Hooves of the Mountain God.
So good.
So, Hooves of the Mountain God, whenever you attack with a basic skill while you're at maximum fury, you kind of enter this state where your fury is going to be draining. And you're kind of empowered here. And during that time, your basic skills will cleave and deal increased damage. All of your basic skills will do that while you're empowered here. And of course, your fury is draining, so you're going to want to keep spamming those basic skills to rebuild it back up and kind of maintain that state as long as possible.
Yeah, so at this point, with this unique, you really care about generating a tremendous amount of fury, but it's not actually to cast a core, it's just to keep going.
Yeah, keep going and keep hitting with your basic skills that are just hitting hard and
just
cleaving all around
hard, buddy.
Yeah. We got a video clip here of this in action. Of course, we've seen Bash Cleave before through some of the tempering affixes. That tempering affix is going to be updated to give another multiplicative bonus to Bash here, but because now it can cleave through this unique, and of course you can mow through a whole set of skeletons here with your Bash while your fury is draining.
Yeah, I love that the part that's coming up where one hit, they're just all to the side.
Oh yeah, poor skeletons. Oh my goodness.
All right, we've got next
don't
class.
wanna
We've
hear
got the Druid to talk about. All right, so the Druid this season, the talk of the Druid has been Cataclysm for a while. A couple points on that. So a lot of Cataclysm, it's this long-lasting ultimate, right? You press Cataclysm, you get the storm around you, it lasts a while. And it suffered from some, like, we call snapshotting, where you get a buff or some effect that says, hey, your next skill cast does increase damage, or it has some effect. And when you press Cataclysm, it's obviously a very long effect, and it benefits from that effect, from the bonus damage to your next cast. That's absolutely intended, right? When we say your next cast, we mean the whole cast. Cataclysm is a great thing to do that on. That being said, we do find that Cataclysm being the only way to play Druid, or at least the only kind of competitive way to play Druid, is not really healthy, because we know that is a kind of mechanically intensive play style that you need to think about buffs, you need to set it up kind of precisely, and for players who like that play style, we love to encourage that. But when it becomes the only way, or the absolute best way, the kind of mandatory way to play a class, that's kind of unhealthy. And so we've done some numerical nerfs to bring Cataclysm and some of the modifiers to it down to earth a little bit, so it will allow for other opportunities, other ways to play Druid in a competitive way. So some of those are Grizzly Rage. We've got updates to a lot of legendaries that used to talk to Grizzly Rage, and that does also remind me about what we're doing with legendaries this season as we talk about this. In previous seasons, we've always had a new unique item and a new legendary aspect for every class. Here for Season 9, we're just going to be doing a brand new unique item, and we're instead doing reworks to a lot of existing legendaries. So a handful of legendaries on each class have been rather substantially reworked, where we looked at them and we said, hey, we have a legendary that already talks to Grizzly Rage, but it kind of sucked. Right? And we said, well, rather than make a brand new one, let's take this existing one that really wasn't hitting that mark and then just like functionally change a lot of things to it. It may still have, the same kind of theme, same kind of niche, probably keeps the same name in a lot of cases. But instead of like adding a brand new legendary aspect that kind of dilutes the drop pool, right? Every legendary we add makes it harder to find any in particular legendary.
You also don't want a situation where, like, if we leave that aspect not desirable, but then we make a new one that is, you're like, oh man, I really hope I find the good one and not the bad one. So that's another positive for this.
Exactly. So we've done a lot of updates in every class to take the bad legendaries and look to update them to support some of the new play styles that we're interested in encouraging this season. And so for Druid, several of the ones talking to Grizzly Rage and Poison in particular are going to be updated.
So benevolent of us finding homes for all these legendaries. It's great. Like,
useful.
You're so
My favorite.
funny.
It'll
Still
like
talking
throw
about
out some
Druid.
extra little
Okay, what is this? Poison damage, chance of pulverized to hit twice. Oh shit. Every 10 seconds, pulverized forms a puddle that deals 400% damage. Oh shit, poison pulverized, boy? You talk about what, son? You got that. Oh shit. You got that pulverized pussy boy, dude? Okay, we skipped through all of this. Skipping, skip, barbarian. I can't be fucked. I can't be fucked. Okay. How's the download going? It is done. The download is done. It's fucking done, yo. Okay. Time to find a build. What? That's on my playlist. The fuck? How'd that get on there? Fuck, boy. Alright. Boom. The screen doesn't have any filters, right? See if I can get these about the same. That's pretty damn close. Okay. Alright, what does this say here, huh? Got build guides. Let's do a hot little rogue girl. Leveling. He did say on the thing that the bomb thing was the best. Go look at some tier lists. Leveling. S tier. Dance with Knives Rogue is S tier. Next is every other one. Dance with Knives. Welcome to the Dance with Knives Rogue Leveling Guide, the fastest leveling guide in Diablo 4. Do you want to easily spin to win to Torment 1 and beyond? This is the build for you. Dance with Knives does not need to manage energy and does not rely on any aspects. What? Therefore, it has an explosive start and scales outstandingly well into the end game. Utilize some simple snapshots with concealment, shadow imbuement, knives, bunch of cock, While you're already laying waste, spinning, you unleash hell with arrows. That's good. Get it up. Get it going.
Just stop for a minute. Heart beating like crazy. Let's dance for a little.
2.2. Queued for logging. Connecting to Diablo 4 services. Queued for login. 1 minute left. Logging into Diablo 4. Screen reader enables. Enable. Disable.
So the logo's barely visible? What if I like it visible? This is the default. Wow. Additional highlights? Oh, is that what made my game look so shitty? Just do no highlights. Just do no fucking highlights, you understand? Subtitles. Yeah. I need a hotkey. Do a hotkey for that.
Blessed Accurate, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
My path is road of darkness.
Shut up.
Shut your mouth, yo. Trying to be quiet.
They have our scent. Run!
He's not going to make it!
Oh, my bad.
He has to.
Blessed Accurate, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides
Look at me! All the gold we want is right there.
No, I just came here for knowledge.
They're coming!
I know.
Get over here!
Now,
Breach the seal! Get us through that door!
Oh, light help me.
Help him.
By 3, they come.
He needs to be helped. Okay, hold on. Fucking loud as shit. It's loud as shit, yo. Still loud as AF.
Hello. Greetings. Greetings. Greetings.
At 8, at 8, at 8, at 8. She is so bomb. Damn. I don't know. Should I do a Spirit Born over a roast? He was bomb. Wowzers. I think I want to switch classes. Wowzers. He's bomb. Holy shit. Wow. Facial hair. Oh. Oh, hell no. Who does she look like?
Hey, yo, Travis, what's up?
She's bomb, dude. What does she look like, though? Kind of looks like...
This is how the world I knew ended. By 3 they come. By 3 thy way opens. And a new one began. It started with Lilith and Inaris, the creators of Sanctuary. They each had their own twisted plans for humanity. Lilith most of all.
You're a most difficult person to find, Wanderer.
Okay, let's just double check everything.
Breathed in fire, purged in ash. Expose thy sin, receive thy lash.
Yeah, that does not look good. Dude, I'm feeling a crazy pressure in the back of my head. Might be dying, yo.
I need the aid of someone. Strange new demon. I've tracked them to an old crypt nearby. I can
Okay. I feel like it looks shitty. Ah, yeah, yeah. She's so gorgeous. It's insane. Wow. He is gorgeous. Holy moly. What's the skills? Alright, enhanced blade shift. Start off, we have to put points into basic skills to unlock the others. Blade shift is our choice because it has fast attack animation. Oh wait, what am I doing? Gotta pick a new build. Quill, Volley, Spiritborn, or Stinger. I don't want to do Stinger. Stinger, Centipede. Well, I've already done Quill. Accelerated Thunder Spike. Your choice to generate resources, apply vulnerable, and reset the evade cooldown for Eagle primary hull effect. Advantageous Stinger. Alright. What was that? Advanced Thunder Strike, Thunder Spike. I mean, Accelerated Thunder Spike. God, I can't read. And Advantageous Stinger. Stinger is your main ability, which has the great perk that it can hit any poison enemy. Together with Pestilence, Infestation. Stinger is a costly skill, and for a while in the early game, you have to rely on Thunder Spike to generate Vigor. Passives like Vigorous and Velocity help a great deal later on. Later, you also pick up Measured Ravager. Ravager. Alright. Get a nice horse. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Got a jaguar, son. Okay.
Keep the night penitent bodies outside the city. No sense in causing a panic. The people will come to accept it once they see it is already done.
I can't help, 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 I can't.
There we go. And that'll be fucked up. Oh. Lagging. Looks pretty bad. That's a little one. Oh, it's chopping. What are you doing? I hope I don't ray trace it.
What is this?
Okay. Looks like shit and is performing like shit currently. So first off, ray tracing medium, and then I'll turn off ray tracing. I'll do low shadows and see. Yeah, that works. How many frames I'm getting? Literally feels so bad. $85 frames. That's pretty good. Still feels choppy.
See what you might find.
Hello.
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 Hello. What's the bill call for? Rushing claw. But first, vigorous and velocity. Uh-oh. Still kind of feels
Damned demons! Is there no end to them?
I'm Jerry.
Seems choppy, I'm not sure. Probably is.
easy. Napoleon none.
Ooh. This is not really good at all. That's a particle.
What did he do to you? Was that true? What he said about Lilith's blood infecting you?
Finally, Belial reveals himself. The Lord of Lies is the source of this demon infestation, just as I feared. Your eyes, Wanderer. Interesting.
That looked like shit. So, what does that mean? It was the occlusion, wasn't it? Let's go, yo.
That much I am
Demon, I trust you know what you're doing. Wanderer, if you truly mean to snuff out these demons, I am at your service. Find me in Menastar.
Ooh. Maybe it's the background? I'll put it down to 30. Or 60. Come on, man. Just give me 60, man. What the fuck? Come on, man.
Came about nice.
It looks like shit. I'm gonna restart. Freezing. I'm gonna give it the NVIDIA treatment. Give it the old NVIDIA treatment. Oh, yeah. Could try to play some Grey Zone. Try that. I always got a couple backups. Gray Zone, and I got Huey. Yeah, I think I'll just go without. I just want something simple like the mage's one where it's just like a simple crown, you know? And all that shit.
Over here, we can speak freely inside my shop.
You learned about the infestation?
I have. And the news is disturbing. I know the Lord of Lies is abroad in Sanctuary, but I must know more. Belial touched your spirit. Stand in this scrying circle so that I can examine you more closely. Belial's apparitions are extensions of his deceitful nature. It's not enough for him to murder innocents. He needs them to believe. The more the demons are seen, the more their power is believed, and the stronger Belial grows. When he has enough power, Belial can draw all of Sanctuary into his own dominion, where only he decides what's real. This is the realm of lies. Belial attempted to wear your mind and body as a cloak, as he has come out. I'm recording all go.
Alright. Some rewards. Pretty much the same as every other season.
Breathed in fire, purged in ash. Expose thy sin, receive thy lash.
Do I need dexterity? I'd rather have damage.
Keep the night penitent bodies outside the city. No sense in causing a panic. People will come to accept it.
They burned him! He offered himself up and those damn knights burned him!
Leave her be.
I'll not have the faithful of Inarius shedding tears for a sinner. I won't say it twice. Where's your decency? Clear off! And you, your Prava's abandoned lapdog. Is that right? What a dismal treat.
That sick bastard has probably already sent his zealots after Lorath. The old man better still be alive. The knights killed. Madness.
You there! Please help! You there! Why do you approach the house of a known heretic?
Get the fuck out of my way.
Me again, and you will join the condemned sea. I will ask only once more.
I know.
Seal.
I wish you'd arrived a moment sooner. No.
Where is Laura?
Brought a friend.
Wanderer. So many corpses. Always leading to you. And who is this? I am here to seek aid. Haradrim.
Sleep.
Deny him.
It's not.
Back in line. You want in? You get checked for disease like everyone else.
Lady, I told you. There's no more room in the hall.
Please. Smithing fit
I
for
don't know
a
why I
iron
gotta
wolf.
keep doing this.
Axes, armor,
keep unlocking
pots
these
and
guys.
pans. Lucky they are here. Faye, we have a guest.
Yes, Papa.
Stay put. Guardsman, how many?
More than usual. The gate won't hold.
They must not breach the city. Get in the wagon!
Fly into the air, creating a cloud, which makes enemies vulnerable.
Ha! You're as scrappy as Lorath said. But this isn't over yet. Come. We don't. I know. Back to the hells with you! They take everything. Flesh, gear, hell. Even the grass isn't spared. For everyone who fell, a dozen lives are saved.
Good.
vault is thick to the east. Let's clear it out, stop it spreading.
That's one. Is it still lagging? There's some traffic.
Good work. To the bridge now. The hollows run thickest there.
They keep coming. We're going to die here.
Only two gods? Where are the rest?
They won't stop. Each kill brings two more. We're the only ones left.
Calm yourself. We're going to finish this fight, and then drinks are on me. You hear? More on their way. Eyes up, backs together.
Big Daddy's here. Big fucking daddy.
Together. Cut it down.
Ah, get me out of this.
Hold on, Guardsman.
Okay, rushing claw. Then measured solar.
I know what it feels like to be on your own. Let me be the North Star guiding you home.
Yeah, we'll do measured Ravager first.
Follow me. I know that it's hard to think.
I understand Nerel was traveling by boat. The old bridge should have a good vantage of the river.
Come on, Bubba. Come on. Come on. Can you please give me the correct number? There we go.
This is Nahant. Good. Then let's search the river. Bound to be some sign of your friend.
It's choppy. It really is. Oh, I haven't.